Hi everybody. Well, I promised one of my followers an update on progress since my last video, so I'm going to just try to run this down for you real quick. One thing we've done is we've done some of the structure inside of the door, added a door latch, and one cool little thing is we have a little magnet embedded here that'll hold the latch in the open position when you open it, so you got to give it a little bit of pressure on it, but it'll return and stay in that open position. The other one's the quarter window trim. Last video, this was cardboard, I believe. This is now 3/16 aluminum. It's been welded to the frame. Also, we have the quarter window in the computer. And we've made this support here to hold that quarter window trim. There was a bunch of controls out here that have now been moved to the inside. Some of the controls are just inside the rear firewall there. Others have been moved to the dash area. We finalized the design on this front scoop. I'm pretty happy with that. We've also decided the whole body is going to be aluminum. I was toying with the idea of laying fiberglass over the cardboard or the light fiber board. But as somebody pointed out to me, I have a plasma cutter and I have plenty of material around the shop, so we're just going to do the whole body out of aluminum. One thing we've made quite a bit of progress on is the structure that holds up the tail lights in the rear of the body. Still in progress there, but we have quite a fair amount of progress made. Also, we did move the taillights down a little bit and tilted them backwards a little bit, as I mentioned in my previous video. We've abandoned the motorcycle mirror and turn signal for a mirror with a built-in turn signal from a Kia Rio. I thought that was the smallest thing I could find. It still looks a little big, but I'm really happy with how that mirror works. You can actually see out of it very well. Again, at first glance, it's a little overwhelming, but quite a few people have seen it here in person, and they say it'll be okay once I get it done. One cool thing about this mirror is it folds electrically, motorized. Also, of course, like any modern car, it has motorized adjustment. It has a built-in turn signal. I'm pretty happy with that. I do have the mirror for the other side, just haven't got it on yet, and I do need to still wire that up. One thing I wanted to mention and explain is the use of what's known as a Clayco. A Clayco is a temporary rivet. So, for example, this panel eventually is going to be aluminum. And right now we just have this cardboard one fastened on here with what's known as a Clayco. And forgive me, it's kind of hard to do with one hand. Oh, there we go. So that's what that fastener looks like. It's basically a temporary rivet. So everywhere that we'll drill a hole for a rivet, we can put the Clayco in temporarily so that we don't have to install rivets and drill out rivets during the building process. And there's a few Claycos now around the bike. And by the time I get done, this thing will be full of Claycos all over the place. And once we have all this cardboard in the computer, most of these patterns are in the computer, but once I have it all in the computer, then we can actually start cutting the panels out of aluminum and installing them. It's just so much cheaper and probably faster to mock this up in cardboard before we then finalize the aluminum panels. So another thing I've done since the last video is I designed this rear body plate, which I'm pretty happy with. A couple of these louvers are hidden by this temporary piece here that I'm using to fit. This is in the computer. This is also in the computer as a separate piece, and basically what I've got to do is combine those two. I still have quite a few notes on here of some little minor changes I need to make to get this to fit a little bit better. But I'm really happy with the progress. We'll make a little change down here and notes again on some changes up here. And I know it doesn't look like much, but there's quite a bit of time in these things that we've done since our last video. This is just a part-time project. It's in my shop, but it's not something I get to work on all the time every day. And so I'm trying to spend at least a few minutes every day playing around with it. One thing I'll show you is this is the circuit breaker for the landing gear. And I'm going to trip that just so the compressor doesn't turn on. And everybody wants to see the landing gear operate. This is a new location of the switch. I'm real comfortable with that. And if we watch the gear, there's the gear down and the gear up. Everybody loves to see that. Also, the door, in case you don't know, is motorized. And I did that because you can't reach the door when you're sitting down. So it's on a motor. And then as that goes down, we can see the latch here a little bit better. So you're able to access this latch from the outside and also access it from the inside. And eventually there'll be a separator panel in here to seal between the outside and the inside there. And I think that's about it for the updates. I'm going to try to spend a little bit more time on it moving forward. All the comments that I get and when people visit the shop, it always motivates me to work on it a little bit more. For a long time, it was just covered up. And I can tell you, out of sight, out of mind, now that we're leaving the cover off at full time, I really am making an effort to spend at least a few minutes every day on it. And when we spend even just a few minutes every day on it, we do see progress being made. Thank you so much for following, and I'll keep you posted. Make sure to visit the website CabinBike.com, and you'll see all the patterns and DXF files for all of the parts that we've used so far to make the bike. Thank you.